So we have the usual eggs on toast. This time it's not so runny, it's a little soft. And that is a nice day, quite overcast, very British. It could start looking dark from around 3. And then physiologically your body starts feeling tired from that time, and it's like, oh, how do I function all the way until bedtime? Before like artificial light and stuff, people would go to bed at sunset, and then they would go to bed at sunset and then get up in the middle of the night for a few hours, and then go back to bed again. And those 2 phases of sleep kind of added up to 8 hours. But sounds like it was fact. I mean, there's loads of like references to it in like old books and stuff. But when people read them now, it doesn't make sense. They used to refer to it as your first sleep and your second sleep. I think this is getting too deep now. Maybe this might be a future concept. The same way things go in cycles. Like that's how cavemen used to sleep. We might come back around to that. Crazy thing though is most people won't admit it, but like a large percent of the population suffers from some sort of sleepiness. Just imagine like our productivity if everyone were to be fully rested. That'd be crazy. And especially with like technology today, it's quite a hard thing to pull off. Speaking of which, moving away from sleep, as I've ranted on long enough. Just the concept of having your phone by your side is such a bizarre thing. I must be like an old soul or something, but say you were sent to like jail in like early 90s, so just stay before even like the internet, right? And you spent 20 years in jail. You came out and then all of a sudden everyone was holding these gadgets in their hands. They were doing something, talking to someone, and it's like, what is happening? What happened in the last 20 years? Because everywhere you go now, there's these QR codes, and it's like you assume someone has a smartphone to be scanning these QR codes and accessing the internet. Sometimes a question just pops into my head and I need to like figure out the answer now. And if I didn't have Google, I'd be like, oh, I need an answer, something. How did the previous generation, without mobile phone, how did they get around and meet up and be social? Like, I think today it's like you definitely need your phone and internet and whatever apps to like keep connected. Because it's like something always goes wrong. Someone is running late, it's been cancelled, it's like, but you would think with the increased amount of connectivity that it should be so much easier. And now we have all these groups and all these like, send your location. Well, so we're gonna be started on like GPS because I'll be totally lost at times. Like, sometimes I just have to go a mile or 2 down the road and I'll be lost. Sometimes I do wonder, like, if I were to be born in the previous generation, would I have been able to function? Well, I think that was too much of a crazy tangent today. Right, that's it. Take care. See you next time.